kind of a predictable loss for the Red Wings last night. Michigan State was in a dogfight with Indiana. Jeremy Fears kept them in it, and then the Spartans took over late to run away and hide from a good Indiana team. That's a good win. For MSU's playing very well right now. We got Michigan basketball tonight on the road at Washington, a 10:40 tip. Those are always awesome in the middle of the week. I don't know how many people stay up for that one. Gator, look, we try to be realistic here as best we can, and we don't always accomplish that. But I think something that needs to get talked about is what happened last night in Milwaukee. And it's not really the first time we have seen, and there's been some expression from Giannis Antetokounmpo that he is not happy. But the Bucks got booed at halftime. And in the second half, he gets the basketball on the baseline, drives to the hoop, makes a bucket, gets fouled, falls on his butt. And there's a baseline camera that zooms in on him, and you can hear him crystal clear start yelling, boo, back to the fans, and gives them the double thumbs down. And then after the game said some things about basically, if you're not with me, I'm against you. You know, is there accessibility to Giannis Antetokounmpo? Is it gotten to the point in Milwaukee that a player of that caliber can get traded? And again, I don't know if this is realistic talk. I don't, if I'm in Milwaukee, if I'm doing this talk show in Milwaukee, it's probably not something I'm even considering unless somebody moves the sun and the moon to get him. And it kind of like we talk about with Scooble. And so when you start getting into those kinds of talks, then you question, all right, should Detroit be involved here? Are you ready to move said sun and moon to go get Giannis and pair him essentially with Cade to try and make a run at the NBA championship this year?
I think the moment you have heat with the fans, and there's no like mea culpa involved, I think it becomes an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a player in Detroit said this, I play basketball for my teammates. I play basketball for myself and my family. When people don't believe in me, I don't tend to be with them. I tend to do what I'm here to do, what I'm good at. It won't change home or away. But yeah, I've never been part of something like that before, and I don't think it's fair. I don't. But everybody has their opinion to do what they want to do. I'm not going to tell them what to do or how they should act when we don't play hard or when we lose games or when we're not where we're supposed to be. I don't think anybody has the right to tell me how I should act on a basketball court after I've been here 13 years and I'm basically the all-time leader in everything. Giannis is an amazing player, one of the best players we've ever seen. But when you start to bark back at the fans a little bit, the relationship gets fractured, and I think it's the writing's on the wall that you're going to have to go. Because if you don't, I mean, not acknowledging the fans is kind of a thing, right? I think you kind of have to, even if you're just playing the game, put a brave face forward and say, yeah, it's too bad. I hate to let the fans down. Fans will love you for it, right?
Yep.
But when you say something like what he said, it can be construed as selfish and whatever. And although it may be factual, people don't want to hear that. People didn't want to hear that Prince Fielder had more to think about than just baseball, right?
No.
And they were done with him. He's got to go. And whether it's right or wrong is just what happens. Should the Pistons get involved? I think the Pistons should always have a plan to improve their team, and they would have to think to themselves, okay, how far would we be willing to go to get Giannis Antetokounmpo? And it's not easy because you'd have to part with a lot. There's hurt to it. You can't just make this trade. I don't think we're going to see another Luka Doncic trade. It's that one side.
You don't expect somebody to do something that is widely considered as being moronic.
Right.
Huh.
Even if you're guaranteed to have the top pick in the draft. Yeah, I think it's going to have to work. It'd be a really difficult trade to pull off, and yet there'd be a bunch of teams lined up trying to make it happen, and then you're going to find out what, in fact, his worth is on the open market. Can the Pistons match something that makes sense, that doesn't hurt them too much, that actually, when it's all said and done, that it's a net win to have Cade and Giannis play together, although it may cost you Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, and first-round picks, and Ron Holland or whatever. I mean, because that's what you have to look at.
Because if you think about this, if we are doing the show in Milwaukee and we're having a legitimate talk about trading the all-time franchise player who's still averaging nearly 30 a game, and he's under contract for the next couple of years, what are we asking for? We're not get him out of town no matter what.
Right.
We're not, let's just go get some draft picks and build for the future. Right? We need to have our doors kind of blown off. And so do the conversations, I mean, Tobias is included because of his contract and to a degree position redundancy if you get Giannis. Now you got to sweeten the pot. And like, so are we talking, would Ivy, Holland, and 2 first-round picks get it done? I don't know that it does.
That doesn't. I can't imagine.
What about Asar Thompson?
If you throw Asar with Holland and Ivy and draft capital, I think it gets a conversation going. But if I'm Milwaukee, I'm saying it starts with Duren and Ivy and one of your 2 young guys, Thompson or Holland, and then first-round picks. Would
you rather spend the money on Giannis or Duren? I mean, Duren's not going to get a Giannis-type contract. But,
no, but Duren has obviously there's a tremendous impact that Duren has on this team. But is he Giannis? No, he's not. Of course he's not Giannis. But
if you get rid of Asar, Tobias, Duren, and Holland or Ivy, you are cutting out 3 starters. You're cutting out, like, the future. Like some critical parts of the future.
But you would have 2 superstars.
You would have 2 superstars, and you'd have pieces, right? You would hang on to Holland or Ivy, but you probably then...
We're seeing a lot of Sasser and Dennis Jenkins.
Yeah, you're bumping... I mean, if your Sar, Tobias, and Duren are gone in a trade like this, you got Cade, you got Duncan Robinson, you got Ron Holland at the 3, you got Beef Stew and Giannis as your bigs, and I mean that's a good team, but it feels like a complete revamp.
Well,
it's like a different team, a totally different team than what they have right now. And I don't know. It feels to me like it's so extreme that it would be a complete reset as to what this team is and what they might be. And there's no saying that it would work. I don't know if I want to take this chance to uproot so much of the core to get Giannis. As great a player as he is. Am I crazy here? First of all, Kang, I want you to sound off on this. I mean, are we going too far?
I think when a name like Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes possibly available, you always got to look at it. If the Pistons were bad, you do everything in your power to make this trade. Mm-hmm. The problem is not a problem, really, but they're good. They're the number 1 seed in the East, and you're upsetting the entire apple cart here if you do something like this. Like trading a guy like Duren and Asar Thompson or Holland, those are culture fit guys. Those are core young guys that helped built this team to where they are right now. It sounds crazy. I don't think I would do it, but because they're good. It's not like they're bad and need this full reset. They're actually good, so you don't need to do this.
They're on pace to win close to 60 games.
But the name and the player is so damn good. It's intriguing. You have to look at it. And I look at it, and now that I look at it, I probably wouldn't do it, and it would take a ton. I mean, you might be looking at 4 first unprotected picks, including the young guys that we mentioned. And then if you trade like Tobias Harris and Jalen Duren, you have no one on your front court. Right. And Giannis can do only so much, but Duren's a big body in the middle that's playing like an all-star this year. And that's a big part of the reason why they're in first.
Yeah, teams are willing to part with first-round picks if they're good teams because those are picks in the mid to late 20s.
Yeah, you're going for it.
Okay, whatever. You're not drafting an impact player typically at 27 in the draft. You can get one, but it's not typical that it happens. So that's what you're willing to give up the draft capital, but you can only do it. You have to, because the way the NBA rules are set up, it's like every other year you're giving up that pick.
What they're doing right now is working, right? It is working.
Yes.
And it's got a present and it's got a future. To put together a realistic trade to get Giannis who it might be a situation where he's got to move out of Milwaukee. You have to reinvent who you are now and sacrifice the future. Is that something you would want to do? 248-539-9797. It's Karsch and Anderson here on a Wednesday on 97.1.